Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome to our 18th day of our month of mods, and today we're going to be talking about another Rome Total War mod. And I kind of feel like this mod and Roma Surrectum are in competition with one another. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I get that feeling. Maybe that's because they each do similar things and try and expand on Rome Total War in similar ways. And my imaginary competition is exasperated by the fact that because both these mods require a clean install of Rome Total War, you can only have one installed at a time. So you gotta choose one and then stick to your guns, because unless you want to go through the hassle of uninstalling and reinstalling Rome Total War, like I did, in order to get this footage, you can't really have them both. Anyway, the mod we're talking about today is Europa Barbarorum. Anyway, just like Roma Surrectum, and I think I'm going to be saying that a lot, this mod is a complete overhaul of Rome Total War. And, just like Roma Surrectum, it aims at making a more historically accurate experience for Rome Total War. And it comes out with both guns blazing in terms of that, because as soon as you start up the campaign, you're faced with trying to choose between a variety of different factions, each with historically accurate names. So accurate, in fact, that I assume that this is what they would have called the factions during the period that this game takes place. Anyway, the campaign starts at about the same time as the Rome Total War campaign does. But when you look at the map, you'll notice something very different from the original version, and that's that it's been much expanded. In fact, I think it's more expanded than the Roma Surrectum map, because this map only just stops roughly at the borders of India. So, you've got a lot of ground to cover. And, just like Roma Surrectum, you have a multitude of new factions which you can choose from, which includes some nomadic Arabic tribes which are based out of what is now modern-day Yemen, and some tribes all the way from the deepest, darkest areas of central Russia. In lieu of the name though, the European barbarian tribes have been vastly expanded. There are a greater number of them, and they're far more diverse. Also, just like Roma Surrectum, Europa Barbarorum comes in packed with multitudes of new units, all with some fantastic looking skins, although I will have to say that the skins do not look as good visually as they do in Roma Surrectum, because the textures in Roma Surrectum have been up-resed for the mod. Though one thing that is fantastic that Europa Barbarorum has that Roma Surrectum doesn't have is authentic languages. And I've always been a languages guy, so the fact that they have authentic languages in Europa Barbarorum is unbelievably cool to me. So, in battle, your units will be speaking their own authentic and native languages. So, the Romans will be speaking Latin, the Greeks will be speaking Greek, and so on. And I just love the way some of these units sound. Like, the Romans, they just sound so Italian. You click on your units of Principe, and they're like, a Principe. Well, no, that's not exactly what they say, but I could imagine it. But beyond the fact that these units all speak their own historically accurate languages, the sound design in this mod is absolutely phenomenal. Roma Surrectum had some cool new soundtracks, but I don't like just listening to the sound itself the same way I do with Europa Barbarorum. Like, let me just play a brief clip here for you. Oh, I love it. I love it. It makes even the smallest encounters seem absolutely epic. Just one quick thing that I'd like to mention about the campaign itself is the fact that every civilization has to build its own empire. So the Romans need to build what looks like the Roman Empire, the Scythians need to build a vast empire encompassing Eastern Europe and Central Russia, and so on and so forth. Which I like more than, hey, just take a random smattering of about 50 territories. In any case, now I guess it's down to the final decision. That is, given the fact you've only got one choice of mods, which one do you choose? And while they're both similar, they excel in different areas from one another. Mainly, Roma Surrectum looks much better than Europa Barbarorum, while Europa Barbarorum sounds so much better than Roma Surrectum. But if I were to recommend an ultimate choice, I think I'd go with Roma Surrectum. Mainly because it's much newer than Europa Barbarorum and therefore has more polish and content put into it. Either way, you can't go wrong no matter which one you download, because it doesn't matter which one you download, you're going to have a much better experience than you would with the vanilla version of Rome Total War. Anyway, this brings us to an end of our discussion. I hope you enjoyed this look at Europa Barbarorum, and tomorrow we're going to be looking at another fantastic mod. And until then, this has been Joseph Visronovic Stalin signing off for now, and you guys take care.
Principe! Dorare!
Astate!
Tribune! Inites! Rugedite! Intendite! Signa